connect with us on social media, our website, radio, and television. Now, get ready to be blessed. Well, welcome, 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 radio listening audience. You're listening in and tuning in wherever you're joining us by Facebook, whether you're joining us on YouTube, Kingdom Purpose Radio Live. Thank you so much for joining today. We are so super excited today to be on the broadcast, and we are coming to you live. And this is the Help by Design radio broadcast, lifting people in spirit, soul, and body. We're just grateful to have today our guest speaker on today, and we're just grateful to be here on the broadcast. This is Alpha Health Outreach, where we believe that health in three dimensions, and of course, the Bible says, "Beloved, above all things, I wish that you would prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prospereth." Well, my God, my God, my God, we're just so grateful for each and every one of you that are tuning in. Thank you for those who are now starting to add the comments to the comment section. You can go ahead and comment, put some questions in there, like us. Go ahead and just give us a thumbs up. Go ahead and share the broadcast. My God, we are just so excited. Again, I'm your host, Evangelist Dr. Surette Sands. I'm going to go ahead, I think at this time, as we're getting ready to enter the broadcast, as we're getting ready to get right into this, because today we are going to be touching and we're going to be discussing minority mental health and mental health awareness. But we've been doing that a little bit for a couple of broadcasts now, but we thank God for what we're able to do. And again, our our guest today is Brittany Radford, and we're going to get ready to give you her bio, give you a little bit more information on this beautiful servant. And we thank God for her being here today. Alpha Health Outreach, we do let you know if you need prayer, 954-488-2770. And if you need to get in touch with us, you can go ahead and get in touch with us, alphahealthoutreach.org. On that website, by the way, you can you have the ability to go ahead and take the survey. We have a community needs survey. Just want to find out what are the needs in your community and even in your personal life, your personal zone or space, the things that you really are concerned about, and the things that you want others to know about, others to be aware of, and then what the needs are in the community. If you're not familiar already, Alpha Health Outreach, we do provide some resources, short-term food insufficiency needs, as well as referrals, anywhere for referrals for youth, for young adult, for men, women, and youth, community needs, employment, underemployment. We partner with Sisters Impacting the Sisters and other organizations. This is just an organization where we want to build you up. We want to lead to a better you and a better community. And we're just excited about what is taking place, what the Lord is doing. Even in spite of the news report, the good news is that the bad news is canceled. Oh, I feel like I want to say that one more time. The good news is that the bad news is canceled. Will you embrace that today? Well, I pray that you will. Well, radio listening audience, you're tuned in to radio, YouTube, wherever you're listening at, Kingdom Purpose Radio. I want to let you know you're tuned in to Help by Design Radio broadcast. I'm your host, Evangelist Dr. Surette Sands. And God wants you whole in every area of your life. Well, I pray you believe that today, beloved. It is so. And we're bringing you more of the information and more of what you're looking for. If you have a business or an organization, you want to advertise in our newsletter, or you just want to receive the newsletter, please go ahead and sign up for that. And sign up for that on www.alphahealthoutreach.org. We'll be right back. You listen to the sounds of Jacqueline Carr, and we don't own rights to this music, but we'll be right back and introduce our speaker for the hour. We're just so glad you joined us today. just like you did for Abraham. God, I need you to show me your sign. So today Yes, yes, yes. We are broadcasting. We're coming to you. We're broadcasting you live. Welcome, welcome to the broadcast. It's manifestation time. So here I am, Jesus. All I have is your word. Show yourself to be God. I know you won't let me down. I won't stop believing. Jehovah Jireh. I won't stop believing. I'm gonna release it for somebody else. God, I feel you now. Preparing me for my next move. My faith is being tested. Oh, but I know you will. You shall. You got to come through. Just like you did for Abraham. Lord, I need you to show me your sign. So today I challenge heaven, cause I feel in the spirit it's manifestation time. So here I am, Jesus. All I have is your word. Show yourself to be God. I know you won't let me down. Yeah. Somebody wave your hand and say, I won't stop. You want to lift your voice and shout. Promise I won't stop believing. Because I see you do it all and all. Oh, Lord, I won't stop believing. Did not tell me, Jehovah Jireh. I won't stop believing. This is what I believe. I believe that the same God raised Lazarus from the dead. Yes. Same God who calls Jehovah back and his army to shine. I believe that the same God who delivered the 3 Hebrew boys. Same God. Yes. I won't stop believing. Jehovah Jireh. I've gone too far to give up on you. This is what I believe. You are the from the dead. And his army to Zion. The same God who delivered the 3 Hebrew boys. Will he come through for me? How long will he show me that he's still God? He watches over his word, watches over his word to perform. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, he does. I'm reminded of Abraham when all that was God's word kept close. He still had faith in his God to lift voice and declare. Welcome, welcome back, radio listening audience. Provide. We know that the Lord will provide, and we're just so grateful to be here. You're listening to a Health by Design radio broadcast. I'm your host, Evangelist Dr. Surette Sands, and today we're just grateful to have a wonderful broadcast that has been put together, a opportunity for us to come together and share. We have a special guest today, and I want to go ahead and introduce our guest and let her go ahead and greet you and tell us a little bit more about what she does in the community. Our guest is Brittany M. Rayford. She is a social change and community impact leader. She's an author, and she's also an organizational leader who addresses the intersection between spiritual development and mental health, hailing from the wonderful city of DC metropolitan area. Brittany is the curator of Pillow Talk, intimate conversations, and has concentrated specializations in trauma and recovery, as well as personal and professional development. She commits her life's work to creating safe havens and mental health service facilities for marginalized women and communities who have limited resources for mental health treatment, sustainable and consistent inpatient and outpatient care. So she's also involved in philanthropic efforts. Brittany is also opening her inaugural mental health service facility, Love and Light Initiative Center. Well, I want to continue with this bio, but it's just so power packed. I'm going to make sure that you audience can hear our speaker here. Let me make sure that that there's no mute button here. Okay, here we go. And I am just so delighted and overjoyed to be able to welcome. I'm going to go further, but I need to stop right here because I need to let Miss Brittany go ahead and introduce herself and just tell us a little bit more in her own words, because I have questions already. But welcome to the broadcast, Brittany. We thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for your patience.
Yes, thank you so much for the invitation. I am so
honored at this time. Can you hear me, Brittany?
Yes, I can. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, thank you. You're coming through now pretty good now. Go ahead now. I'm ready.
Yeah. Thank you so much for the invitation and to be on this platform. It is such an honor, and I'm so excited about this topic today. We know about the stigma of mental health, and so you kind of touched on one of my passions, which is to help marginalized communities and creating safe havens for those that don't have anywhere to go, and also where that stigma is destigmatized, where they're able to receive the treatment that are needed, and provide that access on a macro level to these individuals. So.
Yes. Okay. I was ready for you to go on. So tell me, Brittany, the format, we're going to, I kind of want to, I want to stimulate. I was trying to look for another word than stimulating, but you're really opening up my mind to questions. What I might do, I don't know if I have it up yet. I had given some statistics and some information on, minority mental health. And a lot of times when I bring that information to the forefront, there are some, I'll see if I can pull it up. There are some talking points that are just automatically that come to mind. And it kind of gets me interested in that. But as I'm pulling that up, let's go back. Let's just see if it's going to come. But let me just go ahead, and I want you to tell me a little bit about your background, because there's a lot in the information that I didn't really just read verbatim, but tell me a little bit about your background and how you got motivated to really devote your time, your energy, your effort, looks like your career to this area, mental health and impact in the communities?
Yeah, so originally I went to school for business and having an entrepreneurial spirit, and then it kind of transitioned when I experienced mental health challenges within my life, and that kind of triggered the passion to find out what that is and what that means for me and for other people. And I think that it was a God trigger, meaning like the vision that I believe that He's given to me for this community was birthed through me trying to understand my own trauma and my own challenges in that area. And so I have a child and adolescent psychology certificate from the Chicago School, and it's still in continuing education of higher learning. And the overall purpose is to create these facilities so that we're impacting communities, those that are homeless, those that have co-occurring mental illnesses, along with recidivism and why they're returning back to prison, those that need transitional housing, and what that looks like for those with mental health concerns. And we also find that a lot of times, even though there is a lower percentage of minorities who receive treatment, the other unfortunate event is that they're often misdiagnosed or underdiagnosed. And so these resources that I aim to provide to people is so that they are properly diagnosed, and then also on the macro or organizational level, making sure that healthcare leaders are aware of cultural differences, whether it's language barriers, whether it's their preconceived notions of cultural stereotypes, whether it's cultural sensitivity or cultural history. And these are things that providers, healthcare providers, and clinicians should seek to continue educating themselves on, so that minorities, since we're talking about minorities today, are able to receive proper treatment and making sure that it's of quality comparable to non-people of color.
Oh, wow. And from when I listen to you speak, Brittany, I realizing that you are, a very, what I'm seeing here is a very talented young woman leader in leadership and taking initiative. And, we're going to definitely, we have a prayer team. I don't always integrate a lot of extra things unless, it's relevant, but I'm definitely going to, be praying for, maybe adopt your organization in prayer, because I mean that is just such a wonderful and noble event. Now, I will say I'm going to go ahead even further and say that our audience is definitely a lot of community leaders. Even with the Facebook community, our partners, they are even leaders of ministry and pastors, and I'm going to try to share this with as quickly as additionally as possible. We're trying to get them to go ahead and jump on here, at least listening in. If you had to talk to that audience, faith-based leaders, let's see, community leaders, pastors, other. We also partner with Broward Outreach. They help with the homeless and other initiatives. What do you want to say to that audience, that group of people? That what do they need to do? Also, I'm going to have you share how they get in touch with you as well, because I know that you're primary located in is it Washington D.C. area?
That's where I'm from. So I'm currently stationary in South Carolina.
So, and is that where your initiatives are based out of now for like when you're going to be opening up your resource center? Is that because I read in the bio? I'm going to pull it back up again. You have a resource center that you are going to be, from what I read, opening up. Is going to be in that area?
So the
The
facility
Love
was
and
birthed,
Light. Mhm,
yes, it
mhm.
was
Go
birthed in
ahead.
Columbus, Ohio, so the Midwest region. And right now, the main priority is funding and making sure that people like yourself in communities that you may be connected to are aware of the facility. And we're just trying to bring attention to it so that we can obtain the funding, whether it's from donations, whether it's from government funding or grants. So we're kind of in that process right now. And so yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's a wonderful thing because when I read here, it says, and it's going to be called, I like the name Love and Light Initiative Center. Okay, so the vision, so and if you let's see, how do I say that? Just so you know, I like the idea of write the vision, make it plain, and then make your plan, pray over it, design what you're going to do, and then believe that this shall come to pass. So if you take me through, because you did talk about the vision, so just for clarity, the vision for the Love and Light Initiative, purpose, what are your desire to see that, and what kind of help is needed, just to be clear, what we need to know about this, because if prayerfully, these types of visions and these types of initiatives, God, God, with God's help, can get a great foundation and maybe a model for other cities and communities across the nation. What I learned here recently, as I was trying to provide resources, information here locally, if you need help, mental health help, and you go down that pathway, you can dial 211, which they'll try to give you some resources. You may be on hold for a minute. And then they have in South Florida, maybe the Tri-County area here, you have Henderson Mental Health Clinic, and then there's a caravan that'll come out, and then you can dial 288 if you need some. I'm sorry, it's 988. I believe is the updated number. The Suicide Prevention Hotline, or if you need, we did a mental health workshop in March, and we were able to get Wellspring out, some mental health counselors, and we were able to have, we covered, trauma, grief, having a healthy soul, how to deal with crisis, anger management. So we tried to provide some resources and information and some help with that workshop. But as I'm learning, as I'm getting involved, and myself, my background is in health and the wellness and pharmaceutical science and disease state management, community outreach, health. We do health improvement and health fairs and health outreach and all those kind of things as well. But Alpha Health Outreach, our vision is for people made whole, 3 dimensions: spirit, soul, and body. So we try to bring it integrated together, physical health as well as not leaving out the spiritual component, and then with your soul, that's your mind, your will, and your emotions. So when you talk about a vision and you're talking about birthing it out, that's, I get excited, just by the nature of the impact. And also, what I was going to say was, I had realized that the resources are, although they're out there, in that regard, there's not enough, there's not sufficient yet. So take us from a little bit from the vision. I know that you did cover a little bit from the vision, even including the name, to the birthing, and what is needed from the community to help you. I just want to, be clear about that.
Yeah. So the name itself is something that I would write all the time, like Love and Light. And it was just something that stuck with me, just being able to spread love and be the light to others and in their lives. And so that's where the name was birthed from, is that we should be able to exemplify that love and be light in other people's lives that we touch. So Love and Light Initiative Center is a mental health facility. It's service-based for marginalized women, so those who have or are experiencing abuse, domestic violence, addiction, any form of a mental health concern such as depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder, PTSD, all of those things. And it is a safe haven for them to come. The plan or the desire or vision is to have a 100-bed facility that can kind of host these women and for them to stay there just based on the level of treatment that they need. So there would be licensed clinicians or social workers there, also medical professionals to be able to kind of see the span of treatment that they need, and then kind of go from there as far as the length of time that they would be there. The opportunity there is that they're receiving continual therapy or treatment in that sense. They would have the opportunity if they desire to receive some form of trade training. So there's an educational aspect as well. There's rooms dedicated to cognitive therapy, so forms of meditation where there would be gospel or Christian instrumentals being played in the background, and then being taken through that process of learning how to reframe their thoughts, rewire their brain in that instance through gratitude. And, also because they're staying there, there would be a living corridor and spaces for them to, of course, shower, community type groups where they're able to come together with the team leaders and be able to express themselves and communicate with others. So that would be an opportunity for team building. So there's multi levels to the facility with the staff, and then with doctors that might come in to view those clients or patients. But overall, right now, as far as getting this out there, is the awareness. So the need is the awareness. The need is some type of financial backing to be able to bring this vision to fruition, and have some form of community support to also help support the vision that we would like to present to the community. So
Yeah, so this sounds very, very good and very much needed, and we need to get this. We need to really make sure. Now, have you set up a website yet in terms of I guess just I guess in general, and maybe something if you set up specific for people to maybe be able to reach out to you in some way to connect and maybe help if possible, or is that in the works, or otherwise you can let me know how persons can try to get involved if they're able to get involved at this level and help in some way.
So we do have a website relaunch. So it will be relaunched soon. It's pretty much done and completed. And if someone would like to reach out to me, you can go to my Facebook page, which is Brittany M. Rayford, or my email, which is brittanyRayford@outlook.com. And I can provide a brochure made available to those that might want more information until the relaunched website.
Oh, wow. That's wonderful. I have we were reading through your bio, which includes Bachelor's of Science in Business Project Management from Liberty University, and you're in pursuit of a master's in Human Services, and that's wonderful. Trauma counseling from Liberty, and you completed adolescence. I also see here been invited by Forbes to be a part of the Forbes Women Forum, and is a part of the invite-only network platform for leading women and who dialogue with ideas in challenging times. Prophetic voice and apostolic voice, Brittany's desire for the earth to experience heaven's glory is shown through prophetic worship, solidified in biblical teaching, and also operations of healing and deliverance. Passion is holistic development and growth of men and women in exemplary and mentoring. You're committed to providing necessary tools for conjoining the need of spiritual and in the soul. It's interesting as I listen to some of that too. That is really actually where we're at with that. I'm gonna maybe give us a little quick little station break here to announce, and then we're gonna come right more questions or more dialogue that I want to take place here. And welcome once again, radio listening audience. You're listening to Health by Design radio broadcast.
Alpha Health Outreach is a purpose-focused organization designed to lift people in spirit, soul, and body. We believe in individual, organizational, and community empowerment. Our vision is to see people made whole and transformed into the new Adam with all the benefits designed from the beginning in the Garden of Eden. We provide teaching and empowerment meetings, forums, and conferences. We also create needs assessments, offer resources to empower all people. Now let us go up at once. Let us build the kingdom together. Connect with us on social media, our website, radio, and television. Now, get ready to be blessed.
So welcome back, our radio listening audience. I'm your host, Evangelist Dr. Sarette Sands. And God wants you whole in every area of life. Well, I pray you believe that today. Beloved, it is so. You're listening to Health by Design, and today we are we are fortunate to have our special guest, Brittany, is on the broadcast today, and let's get back into the broadcast here. We have wonderful guest, Brittany Rayford. I hope I pronounced the name correctly, and we're thanking her for. And we've been talking about the vision for her Light and Love facility that's being birthed out in Carolina. Is it? And let me just be clear, that is in South Carolina, or
Yes.
I made sure South Carolina. Let me make a note of that, South Carolina. And yes, I have some friends and family over there. Prayerfully, all is well. South Carolina, and but I wanted to also, you have a very diverse background. So right now, you are in school as well, and I like that. If you don't mind, because I am always interested in what's available to people, and what I saw that one of your degrees included the certificate in specialization in child and adolescent psychology, as well as the human services and trauma. I like to, if you don't mind, I'd like to know a little bit more about that area of that's particular specialty, because what led you there, and what is that, what would be the impact of something like that? Because I have in my mind, but I wanted to hear a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so I in transitioning from business to the psychology / community and human services social work area, I went into child and adolescent psychology to get my feet wet, because the intention was to more so go into psychology, but I knew that I wanted to be more community based and not necessarily sitting there and talking individually. And so once that was completed, I kind of transitioned to social work, and then of course human services is adjacent to that in a sense. And so with human services, a lot of the ideas that I have within the community deals with housing. It deals with social justice and reducing recidivism. It deals with general health care, because mental health is healthcare, or is, general health. So, and then of course, mental health and substance abuse, and those that deal with certain mental illnesses as well. And then providing with the housing some type of financial services so that they can have the provision needed to get back on their feet. And then that would also, in some way or another, the end goal or vision would be to reduce some forms of homelessness within some of these communities. So that was the overall transition. It kind of transitioned from a one-on-one licensed professional therapist to more of a macro level where I'm able to oversee the facilities and making sure that if it's a shelter and then if it's a mental health facility, making sure that we're reaching the community and impacting them in those ways.
Amen. So right now, I know that's great. First of all, that's great and that's wonderful. And thanks for that because I was taking a few that transition, to really be able to make additional impact in the human, the needs to really identify. I mean, you said a lot there. I wouldn't necessarily say that I would repeat everything, but I understood the transition from, even from the counseling aspect to also identifying the needs, and then you even talked about, because we partner with Stevens Health, which they just had their Battered and Abused Women and Girls conference, and that's to the heart of what they try to do is provide resources for battered and abused. And they said women and girls, but not leaving out that there are not leaving out the men, because sometimes they point out that it's not just the women and girls that may find some form of abuse. And I want to touch a little bit on you talked about the voice, having a prophetic voice. I mean, because what we do, what we're not shy about, at least basically what we're mostly not shy about here with Alpha Health Outreach, is to the aspect that being made whole, being made complete, understanding that we're a triune being, we're spirit, soul, and body. We have a physical, we are a spirit that lives in a body, and we have a soul, and which is our mind, our will, and our emotions. And we believe that we have to understand addressing every area and being healthy and being made whole. So we also I want to hear from you, because you talked about the prophetic voice. You kind of stirred up something there. How do you feel? What is your current plan, or maybe your vision for that integration component? Where how do we bridge? Because it's interesting that you are interested in naturally, what can we do to help people, practically speaking, with their mental health needs, a facility where they can go, resources, trying to get other team players involved, other practitioners, whether they be mental health, social workers, whoever that can rally around what you're doing and get involved and lift your hands up, so to speak. But then that spiritual component of how do we integrate that a little bit, or what do you see? What is your vision when it comes to that?
Yeah, absolutely. So the spiritual component is, while this work is being done in the community, the other side of it is creating an atmosphere where people can come, leaders can come, and they are being poured into so that they receive inner healing. So this would be titled, or the name of that would be the Leaders Healing Clinic. And it provides a space for people to come, to be poured into, to learn about whatever their triggers may be, to know that, you are more than your trauma, to know that your value is beyond a mic in your hand, but what's on the inside of you. And so that is the vision for intersecting that spirituality and mental health, where we're able to no longer just look at someone's gift, but be able to look at the person and their humanity, and knowing that they get wounded too, and they have their challenges as well, and they bleed and they suffer, and being able to create that safe space for them to talk and to, you know, have that peer leadership with those that also lead groups of people. And that's the general idea for that. That right now is just an idea form, but that would be the goal.
Wow, and that's just great. And I know that by walking this out, I can certainly testify that there is a greater dimension, because when we talk about health by design, we talk health in 3 dimensions: spirit, soul, and body. And I can certainly tell that is very impactful. And I mean, my experience, because I'll give just a couple examples. And I commend you, woman of God, Brittany, Rayford, for your courage, and your perseverance, your dedication, because we know that God does honor that. And I'm going, Alpha Health Outreach and what we're doing is committed, going to commit right here on live broadcast to do whatever we can to connect, you with any potential resources or people or anyone, even if it's legislators in our area or that will be able to impact and help in your area to just get this vision birthed out. We are just going to commit, and you're welcome on any of our platforms. Put your information in our newsletter. We have the radio. We do the lives. We're on the Kingdom platform as well as others, but we're going to be launching out there. Just as I'm going to say this out there, we're going to be on Clubhouse pretty soon out there. I just want to throw it out there for those who want to get ready to join us on Clubhouse. But we're just grateful. But I want to say that a couple of things I want to say, that we did the mental health workshop in March, and then I have something we call Healing Stream. Not this last October, but I think the year before that. But it just seems like the time is going so fast and stuff, especially since there's a lot going on in the world. But we did something where we called Healing Stream, and the Healing Stream is an integration of spirit, soul and body, that wholeness, that wellness. And so we were talking about, naturally speaking, breast cancer awareness, how to be made, prevention, treatment, and awareness for breast cancer. We did it again in Sisters Impacting Sisters this past October. Prior, we did it on the Healing Stream. And Healing Stream wants to bring you into an atmosphere where you can stress, or you can let out your stress, I'm looking for another word, but anyhow, you can just release. You come into an atmosphere where we have an environment that's created, whether it be candles or crystal, or just an environment where you're in a relaxed environment. And then we begin a component where we're playing just the soaking music, where you just can soak and relax and just let. For those of you listening, you don't have to wait for the next Healing Stream, although we do want to bring one. But just this gives you an idea. If you just want to sometime get in your secret place, in your closet, your room, set your candles. If you like, the stress candles. I happen to like sometimes buying those stress relief candles from the Bath and Body Works place, and get the corresponding gel and take a nice shower and get the candle, and maybe you can put on your soaking music where you just soak and relax. But this is the kind of atmosphere that we try to set, and then we go ahead and teach on health principles, how to be healthy, eating right, what you need to know, naturally speaking, about the topic. So we're talking about breast cancer awareness. What's the latest? What are we going to need to know in terms of physiology? So we're integrating the physical component with the spiritual, with the soaking, the scriptures, and meditating on the word of God. And then, we're asking you to relax your mind. And another example with the mental health workshop, because I was asked a lot of questions going into the mental health workshop. What are you going to cover? Who's going to come? This is, when we invited people out, we invited the speakers. We were, like I said, management, trauma, having a healthy soul, crisis management. And we had all of the speakers. We had from different areas. We had pastors, we had other leaders, and they were able to come out and share And so they shared on grief. We had Pastor Kel Bryant was out sharing a wonderful testimony and sharing, and she's a Christian counselor, about grief. And so each one was sharing. But then when we got through talking about the subject matter and answering questions in Q&A, we found that there was a need for prayer. That there were some people, the testimony that they shared, it was like, we talk about this kind of goes out by step forward by fasting and prayer. So we were able to come together at the altar and pray and really believe for the person's deliverance. And the Bible says, "Will thou be made whole?" We believe that wholeness is three-dimensional. It's not just one area where I can just yes, definitely pray for me, pray for the person, give them scripture, give them word, but also educate, because the Bible also said, "My people suffer because of lack of knowledge." So that was an example of. That's why I just encourage what you're doing, and I do believe that for sure that this birthing out that you're doing. I also want to. I don't know if she's going to be able to join today. I definitely went. I'm going to try to get Prophetess Peaches Coates, the birthing incubator. I'm going to see if I can. She's a wonderful spirit, like woman of God. I like to connect people. If you haven't already, detected that, I like networking. I like building. I like connections because it's for His glory. I believe that's what God had intended for us, designed for us to work together and to network and to just if you think about, and I'm just getting a little bit worked up here, but if you think about the human body, and I know you seem like I'm gonna let you have a little something to say, Sis Brittany, but if you think about the human body, from one cell to building from one cell to building a nucleus, and from the DNA to building one cell connecting with another cell to building an organ, from an organ connecting with another pipeline to the cardiovascular system, to all of the networks that go with your cardiovascular system, to the neurons. If you just think about the human body, if you didn't get so heavy and deep, and I got to pray about it before I can get together with somebody. If you just think about, this is the way that He designed it. Yes, you may need to pray for unity and pray for that all will be able to go well. But you wouldn't necessarily have to, the idea of networking and building wouldn't have to be such a hard-fought idea. But we have a few more minutes in the broadcast. Brittany, I just, go ahead and share. There's just so much, it's power-packed. Anything else that you want to share with us today? Anything that you need to get out to the public listening audience? Anything else that we didn't at least touch on, and I'll give you some time now. We have at least about 3 to 5 minutes, but I really appreciate you coming on today.
Yes, thank you so much again for having me. I think the only additional things I would like to share are resources, so that those that have access to the internet are able to find these resources online for any type of providers or a therapist, or if they're in need of immediate help. So I have a few that I'm just going to read to you guys, and that's Mental Health America, National Alliance on Mental Illness. There's the Suicide Prevention Lifeline, which is suicidepreventionlifeline.org. And then there are directories of therapists online that you can search for on these websites and kind of find the best provider for you. I would also say, in addition to that if you do find a therapist online through any of these sites, I would say it is okay if that relationship or that connection, the therapist to the client connection, does not mesh well. It's okay to transition to a new one. So I just wanted to add that in there as well. And find someone that best suits what your needs are at that time. There's also a free 24/7 access for mental health tech support. So you would text SHARE to 741-741. And then there's a free screening for those that might have some form of mental health concerns and they're not sure of the direction that they should take. So it's anonymous, it's confidential. You would go to mhascreening.org and you would answer a few questions on there. and then it would kind of give you the direction that you should go in based on the answers that you provide to them, so you can kind of see whether whatever your needs are at that time. We also, as far as like the prevention line, the suicide prevention line, they also have a new number for those that are in a crisis. So that's simply dialing 988. And this was just released not too long ago. So that's 988 if you are in a mental health crisis. If you don't have the time to simply dial out the whole number for the prevention line. And so in addition to all of those things in finding those resources, I would just suggest to continue educating ourselves on what mental health is and the stigma of it. So thank you.
Welcome to Alpha Health Outreach.
Well, thank you, radio listening audience, for tuning in today to Health by Design radio broadcast. We're so grateful that you tuned in, and we're so grateful for our guests that have joined us today, and we're grateful for having you on. And I know that we kind of are ending here now, but we will try to get back as soon as possible to get additional information to be able to share with you. And again, thank you so much for joining us, and those who listen by radio. Thank you again. This has been Health by Design radio broadcast. God wants you whole in every area. Until next time, thank you once again. Thank you to our guests for joining us today. And we're going to go ahead and just kind of transition right there, but we're going to get these resources and information up to you as soon as possible. Again, thank you so much. It's been our pleasure having our guests on today, and we'll get more information out. Please get in touch with her as soon as possible so that we can all benefit from what has been shared here today. Again, we thank you, and God bless you.